computer. I'm just going to start by saying a welcome to week 4 of Devotion to Promotion, and we're going to talk about recruiting this month. And also, I was going to start by saying that I don't have this all figured out. I'm learning and growing and trying to figure it out myself. So don't think I've got it all together, but I'm figuring it out. I'm trying to come up with systems, making it easier on us, for you guys to recruit. So something to look forward to is that JC and I and Katie and another friend of ours, Meredith, are going to get together soon and create a Facebook group. And so in these new Facebook groups, you can do like a whole curriculum, basically. Like you can have units. They can work through units on different things and help them work by step recruiting or getting started. So if you do get a new recruit, hopefully very soon, we're going to have somewhere for you to plug them in and they can get some training there. So when that does launch and we get that ready, it's not going to be something where you can add them to the group and then they're good to go. You'll still have to be like asking them, did you watch that first video? What did you think? Stuff like that. So something to just throw out there. So if you're afraid to recruit, don't be afraid to recruit, especially if you're like, I don't know what to do with them once I recruit somebody. I don't know what to do. We're hopefully going to have something for you guys just to plug them right in. We're just trying to find a day to get together and do that. But okay, so how many of you guys, when you think of recruiting, you feel like, oh, that sounds like something I can do and I feel very confident in that? Anybody confident in recruiting?
I do.
How many of you guys hear the word like recruiting and you're like, I'm really nervous and anxious about the whole idea? Anybody? Yeah? Okay. So it can be very intimidating because it's not something that just comes naturally to you. So when you see those people that have recruited well and are big in the company, these aren't people that they're just natural recruiters and then there's nothing you can do about it and that you're just not a recruiter and that's okay. Well, I think a lot of them, what I've learned is that it's just a skill set. So it's just a skill set that you learn and you perfect it. The more you practice it, the easier it gets. But the people that are recruiting well and doing well are people that just have learned a few little skills. So before we talk about how I recruit at a party, I'm going to talk a little bit about how Katie recruits at a party. We have to fix our mindset on what recruiting is. And you know how we talked about offering dessert to somebody? Like when someone offers you a dessert, you're not mad at them, right? You're not like, how dare you put ice cream? Unless you're on a diet and you're really struggling, which happened to me the other day because I'm trying to eat healthy and my husband brought home my favorite ice cream. So guess who's had ice cream 3 days in a row? But most of the time when someone offers ice cream, we're not mad, right? So the same thing about recruiting. You have to look at it as offering a gift, like offering something good. If someone says no, it's not personal. It's not a personal attack on you. It's just a no, and that's okay. So changing our mindset is important, realizing it's a skill set. So something to think about before we talk about some skills you need to do it is when you're going into a party, there's been some studies when they study people that go to home sell parties, people that sell products in their home, like we do. What's it called? Party plan. So we do party plan. So people that are having party, they did a study on people that attend these parties, what their thought processes are, and the statistics say that half of people at any party are thinking, could I do this? So I mean, those are pretty good numbers. So let's say there's only 4. That's 2 people. And these numbers are for when someone actually talks about. If you don't mention it at all at the party, those percentages are a little bit lower. But if you mention your job at all, then about 50% of the people there are thinking, I wonder if I could do this. So when you are offering the opportunity to somebody and you think about going into a party and talking about it, you're not forcing it on anybody. The half of the people are thinking about it already. So when you go into a party, look around and think, man, if I just do my job and I talk about the business, about half these people will at least be thinking about it. Does that make sense? So I think I go in, what holds me back sometimes is like, no one wants to hear about my job. No one wants to talk about it. They don't want me to talk about signing them up because they have a bad taste in their mouth for direct sales. So that's not true. About half of the people, that helped me a lot when I heard that statistic. Half of those people are at least thinking about it. Something else I think that is interesting is that 25,000 people a day join some sort of direct sales. Wow. Like that's a shot. That's a lot, right? That's a lot of people. So if they're not joining Norwex, then they're going to join something else, right? So that's going to happen. People are joining. People are looking. We're in a great place where people are actually looking for direct sales now. So 25,000 people a day. We want to capture some of those people and bring them into our team because we have the best product on the market. We're helping people. We're saving money. There's my mom. Hey, Mom. I'm going to go through, and she's like, is she the main screen on you guys?
Not mine.
Am I? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so 25,000 people are thinking about the job. And so I just have a real quick example about that. I was doing a Facebook party, and on my order form, I have where people can check if they're interested in the business or not. And a few people checked yes. I didn't pursue it. I just kind of forgot about it and left it alone. And guess what? Most of those people did. They joined some other direct sales business. Someone is now selling makeup stuff. Someone's now selling garden and fields. And these are people that checked a box and said they were interested. So 25,000. So there's people looking. So don't feel like you're pushing it at anybody. When you're going into a party, once you get those bookings, remember, if I'm going to do my job and do about half of, mention it, about half of these people are interested. So that kind of helps change your mindset. Like, you're going to help fulfill a need. They want to know. You might as well give them the information, right? Let's see. Also, I think it's important to realize that this, like, what we do is kind of a mystery job. They either think that we just get free product, or that we couldn't get a real job, so we're trying this. It's like they really don't know. So a lot of times people come in, they're like, I wonder if I could do this. I don't even know. Does she even make any money? Like, what does she get from this? So it's kind of a mystery job. So our job is to go in there and take out of it and give them the facts. So let's see. And also just remember that this opportunity changes lives. So I have a quick story too about a friend of ours. She's on our team, and she joined, and her first few parties, she made $400-ish from her first few parties, and she was able to pay off medical bills that she wasn't for sure how they were going to get paid off. And came to me in tears because she was so thankful that she was able to not take that out of their budget, to be able just to pay that off real quick with the money that she made. And so we have the opportunity to change lives by giving them safe havens, but also helping people make extra money. So let's say they get started and they only work for 6 months and they make $200. Well, that could be a huge blessing to them. So offer them the information and let them decide. Realize we have this huge blessing to offer people. And so I have to tell myself this all the time. Remember how, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when I'm going to parties, I have to like psych myself up before I go in. These are my best friends. I'm going to have so much fun. Norwex is awesome. So the same thing about recruiting. I have to go in being like, I want to bless these people. They may be looking for this opportunity. So don't skip the opportunity talk. So how many of you guys, by a raise of hand, if you had parties already, do some kind of opportunity talk at your party? April has, Sherry has. Anybody else? Amy has. Okay. So I'm just going to walk you through how I present the opportunity to people at my party. So if you don't have any parties on your calendar, go back and listen to that How to Get Bookings recording from week 2 and do the things to get parties. I'm not even going to go through it, but you guys go back and look at that, get some parties on your calendar. Once you do have your parties, come back and listen to this and just kind of glean what you want from it. I started doing the recruiting talk just because I was supposed to, because it's a part of my job. I view recruiting as a part of my job. And so I just did it because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And people started joining the team. And so if this is your first few parties, if you're just getting started, don't skip the opportunity talk, because there could be somebody in there that needs a couple of $100 extra a month. There could be someone in there that's going to be really great at direct sales and they're looking for some opportunity, but they don't know the details about Norwex, so they join somebody else. So always offer the opportunity. You have no idea who's in there. Don't prejudge by what they look like or how old they are. Always offer it. So when you go into a party, remember we said half of the people, if you talk about it, are looking at the opportunity. So let me get my notes right. Okay, so have recruiting eyes. So when you go into a party, just know you're going to talk about the business somehow, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So when you get started, look at people with recruiting eyes. So what are some of those people that you think may be looking at the opportunity? So those are people that are smiling a lot, talking a lot, engaging a lot, asking a lot of questions. Those people that look really excited, those are normally good recruits, possibly. Let's see. People, if you're listening and you hear someone talk about, my husband lost his job, I lost my job, I had just had these twins, I have lots of medical bills, like whatever it is, look at those people, listen to people's story and help meet them where they're at. So those people are helpful. And I love that too about Norwex, because you can get started for pretty cheap and have a few parties Like for me, when I first started, I wasn't at a place where I could spend a lot of money on Norwex. So I got to spend $10 and start a business. So it's low risk. I love that too. And then your hostesses. So your hostesses are great recruits, right? Because they're already all in. Your hostesses want the product. They love it. They want to share it with their friend, especially those hostesses that show up and they're like, hey, I got 3 outside orders. You could be like, well, that's awesome. I'm so excited. I made like $60 off of these orders, or $100 or $300. That, like, what would you think about signing up? You did the work. Like, you would be so good at this. And it helps them realize that was pretty easy to get some orders and I could totally do that. So your hostesses are great, great recruits. So when you're walking into your party, the first thing you want to do is have recruiting eyes, looking at who you can to find that you think may be good at it. But disclaimer, sometimes those people that are like stone cold, you're like, oh, they hate me and they hate Norwex. Have you ever been to a party and you're like, I have. I walk in and they're like, there's no grinning out of them at all. They're not going to smile at me. I'm like sweating thinking about it. Like they hate. Some of those people have actually joined. So having recruiting eyes is good, but that doesn't mean like the half of the people that you decided, oh, they're not interested, they could still be interested. So don't count them out, but do have recruiting eyes. Let me make sure no one's texting me that needs help getting on. Okay. So that's one thing. And the second thing is to actually talk about the business. Okay. So what I do is I mentioned that I get a mop when I'm talking about the mop. We've talked about how we use that to get bookings, but I also talk about how I got that when I became a consultant, and I got it for free. So I mentioned that. That's just like a really quick plug. But in the end, what I do is a 3-minute Q&A. Does anybody know what that is? Has anybody done it? April, you don't know? Pam knows. Amy knows. Sherry knows. Sherry. Hey, Sherry. There's 2 Sherrys. It's confusing. I'm just going to call you Mom. Not you, Sherry Hair, but you, Sherry Mom. So the 3-minute Q&A, when I am finished, I'm like, I have one more thing to do. And I'm like, so for those of you who haven't got tickets yet, I give out tickets as people find page numbers in the catalog. This is a great way. Or if you have tickets and you want more, you get 2 tickets per question you ask. So I'm going to pretend like you're all at my party. I'm about to go into my spiel. You ready? Oh, wait, first of all, so as I'm talking, setting up the party, I give them some questions to answer. So this is what I do. So I'm going to play one more game with you guys. It's really quick. It's really easy. And it's going to help you get some more tickets. So if you don't have any tickets yet or you want more tickets, you guys, my competitive friends over there that have 20 tickets already, you can have more. This is how the game works. Okay, so this is the 3-minute Q&A, which I know it's an awesome name. I really came up with a great name for that, but I'm going to set a 3 minutes on my phone and you're going to ask questions and I'm going to give you answers. But so there's 3 rules. One rule is you have to ask questions about the business, so about my job. So you can ask me how much it costs to get started. You can ask me what I love about my job. You can ask me if you can earn free trips. You can ask me how much money I make. I don't know what all I said there, but I give them some examples. You can ask me any of those questions. And then sometimes I say all those questions, like asking people how much money you make, are taboo, except for now during these 3 minutes, you can totally ask me. And then the other one is, or actually there's 2 rules. And then the last rule is that you actually have to ask questions. So if some of you guys have been at my party, you've heard me say this, but you have to ask questions. Otherwise, I stand up here for 3 minutes and it's super awkward. I feel very uncomfortable and I look like an idiot. So please don't do that to me. You have to ask questions, okay? Because I didn't say that rule at first, and literally it's happened to me. I'll stand up there and everyone's like, to-do. I'm like, well, I guess I'll turn my countdown off. Anyway, so I set up those rules and I'm like, okay, for every question you ask, and I'll answer product questions later, but it has to be about my job and what I do. And then I say, Siri, set a timer for 3 minutes, and I say, ready, set, go. And so they ask questions. And so I've already set them up with the questions I want them to ask. So they ask those questions and all I do is just answer them. And that's the end of it. So I give them the 3 minutes. And so those help me with recruiting eyes too. Those people that are asking lots of questions and follow-up questions to their question, those are people that I want to make sure and talk to them about the business. So the 3-minute Q&A is super easy. You guys are welcome to use some of my numbers. People ask how much I make. So the average consultant for Norwex at a party makes $250. So that's a statistic average-wide Norwex. So you don't have to give your own. You can give Norwex's. I personally tell them I make a full-time income. So I'm not like high up. So you can say my friend Jenna, who works with me, she does it full time and she makes a full-time income. And I make more than I did as a teacher. So you can share that if you want to, if you don't want to share your personal, or you can just say, I get to go out for fun for a couple hours and I make $200, $250, and that's it. So how many of you guys are uncomfortable talking about money? Okay, so sometimes it's uncomfortable saying like, I'm here and I'm making money off of you. So I had that mindset at first, so I didn't want to talk about how I make $200 to $250 per party until I started doing it, and no one cares and no one's offended and no one's like, I don't want to buy anything. So don't let that hold you back. It doesn't stop anybody. They totally get it because this is my job. So are there any questions about the 3-minute Q&A? I can't tell if you do.
No.
Huh?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Awesome. So that's, once I started doing that at my parties, my recruits went from like barely any recruits to quite a few recruits quickly. So when I'm finished with that, I just say, okay, so if you're interested at all in the Norwex business, I have some stuff I can give you at the end at checkout. So there's a box on the order form. So I use just the boxes on the order form already. You guys know those 3 boxes? I'm interested in the business. I'm interested in the emails and then whatever. I have them look at that. I'm like, if you're interested in learning more about the Norwex business, go ahead and check that box. We're not going to be, it's not like we're blood sisters after that. I'm not going to make you make some kind of pact, but I will just give you some information to take home. And so I'll say something like that. And so they'll check it if they want to. Sometimes they just don't check it. And I've had my recruiting eyes on, so I know who didn't check it. Maybe they forgot. Or they just didn't want to, and I still talk to them about it at checkout. And remember how we talked about at checkout, you pull everybody away if you can. That way you can have recruiting conversations too over there. And then I just give them, there's a Q&A link that I'll post at the end that Trista has up all the time, or Planet Green Team or somebody. I send them that link and then I give them a opportunity brochure. Have you guys seen those?
Yes.
Okay, so if you don't have any opportunity brochures, they're very, very easy. I meant to bring one with me, but I don't know where it went. It just talks about, and I just give that to them to take home. It talks about like the 5 whys of why most people join Norwex. And then I say, here's the information if they say they want to take some home. And then I'll be like, I'm going to follow up with you in a couple of days. When's a good day? How about Tuesday? Could I call sometime during that time and see what you think after you look at all these questions? So that's all I do to recruit personally. It's worked for me. It seems I'm very simple. I don't like to print out anything extra. I don't like to give anything extra. That's just me. JC and Katie both have those forms that say, are you interested in the business on a scale of 1 to 10? Or yes, I want to know more about the business. So I think those are very helpful too. People use those all the time and really like them. But the key is to say and do something, right? Because remember what we talked about, half the people are interested or curious, so we might as well give them the info. I let them decide. I don't like force anybody to do anything, but I do tell them why I love Norwex. I try to get people during that 3-minute Q&A to ask me why I like Norwex, and then you get to share your why. So all of our whys are different, but make sure they know that, like, what a difference Norwex has made for you, why you love it so much, and why you love the business. Because remember, facts tell, stories sell. Okay, so that's what I do. JC, how many of you guys, or Katie, how many of you guys have the opportunity cards? Okay,
I have some.
So I don't use these on opportunity, but I know when I went to Panama and we did like a big, so these are the top sellers of the entire company. I'm like at the bottom of all of them. But so we're in Panama and they're talking about like, what are some ways, how has your recruiting been better? How has it changed? And lots of people have said since they've started using these cards, their recruiting has gone up and been easier. And most people just choose a few cards. I think the ones I would choose if I were going to choose like 6 are like, can I make a full-time income? And you can. So even if you're not, I am, Katie is, and I'm working way less than full-time hours. Can I earn free trips? So that's good. Me and Katie and JC get to go this year, and we're not fancy special people. We're just like you. So don't think it's like unattainable. Let's see. I like this one. Did you buy all the products you've seen here tonight? Because so many people want a lot of Norwex. I wanted a lot of Norwex. That's why I signed up in the first place, because I wanted it all for free. So answering that question, helping them know that you can get a lot of it for free, or like at least 35% off, is a big deal. And how much does it cost to get started? Or wait, how much did you earn per party? So it covers that question. And how much does it cost to get started? So those are the ones I would use. So what Katie does is she just is like, okay, we're going to play one more game. So she gives away something, and the ladies at Panama gave away something just for this game. So maybe something small like a stainless steel straw or a Spearnet or a Sperry sponge. Katie gives away a lip balm, I think. I know a lot of people do that too. But the good news is once you start recruiting and you get these recruits on and you get them started, then you get lots of free shopping sprees to help you pay for these things too. So it will at first, but it won't always come out of your pocket. So she has everyone pick one, everyone pick a card. We're going to play a quick game. And she passes them out. And so let's say I gave this card to myself, and I'm a guest now. So she says, okay, I'm going to pass out these cards, and I want you guys to read them to me, read them out loud, and then try to answer the question correctly yourself to see if you know the answer. So I'm like, it doesn't matter if you know it or not, just guess and we'll see. And for everyone that asks a question, I'll give you a ticket, and then we'll do a drawing at the end for this lip balm. So this will be fun. All right, everyone grab a card. And so you may need more cards than this if there's more guests. So whoever gets this card would ask the question, can I earn a full-time income? And then they try to guess and answer that. And then Katie would answer that correctly. And the correct answer is, yes, you can, right? And so you just get to answer it the best you can. But this way, at least they have the card. They get to see it. They don't have to think of the question. I just like doing it myself and just feeding them the questions. I'm also a creature habit, so I don't change very much. I want to do these, but I can't get my heart to do it. But can I earn free trips? So this is a great way just to answer those questions real quick. You take them back up. You do a drawing. And you say the same thing again. At checkout, if you're interested in just learning more, or you know somebody that would be really good at this business and you want some more information, just let me know. I have some stuff you can take home. And I always try to make a joke. Sometimes I say, we're not going to get engaged. I'm not going to give you a wedding ring. Everything's fine, but I'm just going to give you some information you can look up later. So whatever you decide to do something. It's really short and sweet. I give away tickets just towards the big drawing. Katie gives away one thing just for this. And then follow up at the end. So even if they don't check the box or talk about it, like check their little form or whatever you're giving them, remember those people that you thought they'd be really good at this business or they seem really interested, and offer them to it anyway. So even if they don't have that check on there, still talk to it about it. So my goal, I set goals for myself. And so my goal is to have that conversation with 2 people at every party. Just 2, not half the crowd. Sometimes it's more, but most of the time it's just 2. And if they say no, they say no. It's really no big deal. Like I used to take it personally. So when you're taking it personally, then you get super nervous before you talk to them. But if you're just asking like, so what did you think about the business? Would you be interested in more information, or do you know anybody else that might want some of this information or might be good at the business? So then too, if you mention you or somebody you know, then if they're still like maybe not sure, they can pretend like it's, you tell a story. My friend, let me tell you the story about my friend. Actually, it's yourself. So if you can give them that out to where they think, well, I could get it for somebody else, they might still take it for themselves. And then also I've gotten recruits from referrals. So just having people refer people to me, letting them know, even if they're not interested, they may have a sister or they may have a daughter that they think, oh, they should do this. They'd be so good at it. They can refer them to you. And I normally give them a thank you gift or something. So, all right. Are there any questions other than that? I feel like I was going to cover something else. Oh, I do follow up with them. I make some kind of follow-up call afterwards. I set a time for them, make sure they know I'm calling. Just a couple days later, ask them if they looked over the Q&A, what do they think? And so I always try to follow up with that. And then once you have a recruit or someone that's really interested, have you guys seen the Business Builder kits? I forgot to bring those up, but ask Nora. Do you guys know what Ask Nora is on our back office?
Yes.
Search on there and look Business Builder kits, and they'll come up. So I always show people their options. Like they have this Business Builder kit. So that's on the Q&A link that I send them. And I'll post that in a minute. And it just it's the same link. It just updates itself every month. So you don't have to wait for a new one to come out. Someone updates it, and then you could just keep sending the same link out. And it just changes for each month. But on there, it talks about the Business Builder. So I tell them, I love the Business Builder. Those are totally optional. I think they're great because it's extra 35. It's your 35% discount plus more off. Plus you get free catalogs. Plus you get those cards I did my party with that I think are so important. Plus you get free order forms. So if it's in your budget, I love the Business Builder. I totally would have done it if they were available when I signed up, but they weren't. So especially that small one, I could have done that one probably, but I normally say the gold kit's probably my favorite just because it gives you an even more discount and more catalogs. And so if anybody chooses the gold packet, I give them an extra $50 shopping spree. So I do that because, April, did I give that to you? I feel like I did.
Well,
Amy, did I give that to you?
You did, but we need to talk about that.
Did we never do it?
We just never exchange things because I have your cleaning paste and you have my stuff you ordered.
Oh yeah, good times. You text me about that later because I don't even know what it is. But I'll take care of it. Don't you worry. But that $50 shopping spree, when anyone engages and gets that fresh step one, your recruiter gets a $150 shopping spree. So I give 50 of that to them when they choose the gold. So that's a great, they're getting lots of free stuff. And I love that kit because it gives them product knowledge. So they don't just get the regular kit. They get lots of things that they know more about, they can use in their home. And it's at a really, really good discount. It is just a really, really good deal. So if it's in their budget, I think it's a great idea. But then I say, if it's not in your budget, that's totally fine. I get it. You do what's best for you and your family. So that's a key phrase of mine when I'm recruiting. Do what's best for you and your family. So I love those kits, but whatever's best for you and your family, you do that. I totally get it because you don't want to force them into buying anything, but it is a really good option. Okay, so I know you're hearing me a lot, but I'm filling the job of 3 people. But so let's say you're recruiting a hostess. What are some of the challenges you guys think that you might come across when you're recruiting your hostess? Any ideas? Nothing? No? I'm going to call on people. Okay.
Ask the question again.
So let's say you're recruiting your hostess. It's the end of the party and you're like, hey, listen, this was a great party. You would be so good at this. Like, have you thought more about doing this as your, like, joining my team and doing this with me? Like, I need help. Like, there's so many homes in the United States or in Oklahoma that don't have Norwex, and I need help. What do you think? What are some complications you could come into now that it's at the end of the party? Pam, did you come up with something?
Well, I had actually asked my sister-in-law, and she said, I don't have people. I don't have people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a common one. I would normally if people say they don't have people, I say, well, did she host a party yet?
She did, and she lives out of state, so I actually traveled out of state to host the party. So
did people come?
Yeah, she had 4 people come.
See, she has people, right? That's what you say. You have people. And then you could talk about how, like, I am outside of my people now. Like, everyone on this call right now, I never met without Norwex, right? And so I'm outside of my people. So as you get bookings, it leads you outside of your people. So you just really need 1 or 2 people to book a party from yours. And then you've got parties to go on. So, and you help them. A lot of people think they don't have people, but they have people. You have friends. I know you do. That's what I say.
Jenna, I'd really like to introduce you to your mom.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Everyone but my mom. She wasn't on the main screen. And so it's so good to meet you, Mom.
Yeah, nice to meet you, babe.
Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate it. Listen, disclaimer. I met my mom once a long time ago. It was like 5 years ago. Okay, so anybody else think of a problem that might arise when you try to recruit your hostess?
What if you have somebody who's just non-committal, like interested, but just not right now, we'll talk about it later?
Does that drive you nuts? That drives me nuts.
That's how I've been with hostesses.
Oh, yeah. With hostesses, I say, these are the dates I have. What date can you do? I always give them dates. I don't ever say, like, okay, when would you want to have your party? Are you interested? I say, I have this date and this date open. Which date of those works for your party? So giving them specific dates when you're booking parties is key. And then saying, like, not like, what do you think? Would this work? I say, which date works for your party? Mm-hmm. So taking control of your calendar is good. I can't remember what I was saying. So one thing I do want to talk about. So let's say you've recruited your hostess. She's like, yes, I want to join. What do you do now? Because she's got some bookings from her party, right? Those are her friends. So this is what I would suggest people do, because you want to keep your party lines going, right? You don't want to lose a line of parties. So let's say, Stephanie, I'm at your party. I've just recruited you. And I'm like, okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm so happy you're joining. I'm excited for you. So you got these 2 bookings today. Okay. So I need to keep 1 booking for you to get the hostess rewards, because I have the hostess rewards in front of you. See all this free stuff you're getting? Like I need at least 1 booking for me, and then you can have the other one. And then I'm sure we're going to work together on your Frankie list, finding you other hostesses to host your own host parties for you too. So I think some people fall into the trap of recruiting all their hostesses, not keeping any parties. And then what happens to your business? It's gone, right? But we don't want to be afraid of recruiting our hostesses, because those are our best recruits. And so, so let's say she only gets 1 booking. You need that booking for your calendar, and for the hostess rewards for Norwex, you're required to get a booking, right? You want her to get all those hostess rewards, because she's about to miss out on $400 of free Norwex if you give her your bookings. So you keep 1 booking and you say, hey, okay, so you can come to this booking. We'll work with them, getting a Frankie list, thinking of other bookings, and say, hey, you can come to this party with me. It'll be your training party. You can come, and then whoever, during those bookings, people that get booked from that party, I'll let you have 1 of those if you'll just come and train with me at that party. So your line of parties is still going. You didn't give up your sales, and you help her get started too. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So recruit your hostesses. They're great recruits, but don't lose your business, okay? Because I don't want that for you. I don't want that for me. So again, I'll just say what I said again. So if they get more than 1 booking, you want to keep 1, because you need 1 for your hostess rewards. You want them, and talk about them. You don't want it for you, although you do want it for you. But really say, like, I want you to get all these hostess rewards, so I need to keep at least 1 booking, and then you can have these other 2. What do you think about that? So that would be helpful. And then if it's just 1, remember, then you say, okay, so this is the booking. I want you to come, and this can be your training party, because I know you were super busy. You were cooking. You were hanging out with your friends. I'd love for you to just to come to a party and watch and take notes and not have to do anything, but just kind of watch and take notes. And so in the party, I'll give you 1 of the bookings from that party if you'll just come and train with me. Does that make sense? So I think that's a really good way. That might not be perfect every time. You might have a hostess that's like, I don't want to give you any of my bookings. And if that's the case, hopefully we're not recruiting people like that, because we want kind, nice, generous people. But sometimes people aren't like that. And so I personally would be like, I wouldn't fight it hardcore. I'd be like, I would say I wouldn't give her hostess rewards. I'd be like, you need 1 for your hostess rewards, but don't cause friction because of it. But most of the time they'll be like, oh, that makes sense. You need a booking. I want my hostess rewards. That's why I did that. So I personally was really afraid of recruiting my hostesses, because I didn't want to lose my parties and lose my line of parties. But if you do it this way, and this is what Chris Carlson says. So if you guys don't know who Chris Carlson is, she's thebomb.com. And she is fantastic. So she has a Succeed and Shine podcast, and I took a lot of my notes from her. So if you go back and listen, you'll be like, this sounds familiar. It's because I stole them. But she's just really good. So that's what she does. She has a great business. She's got the biggest organization in all of Norwex. So she helps people get started, and hers is the hugest. And this is how she tells everyone to do it. You have to keep a booking for yourself, or you lose your business. But you keep the booking, that way they can get their hostess rewards. So don't be afraid to recruit your hostesses, have recruiting eyes, and don't be afraid when people say no, because that's okay. It's not offensive to me, but offer that opportunity. When Chris Carlson, my hero, said 25,000 people a day sign up with direct sales, that was like, oh, people want to join direct sales. They want to make money. This is a great way to make some extra cash. So we have to offer that to them, or they're joining someone else, right? And we want them to hang out with us. So are there any questions on recruiting? So I'm going to post that link on the one that I send to people all the time. It just kind of breaks it down. That way, if you don't, I know all the answers, but it's a lot better if people can just read it. You may not know all the answers, so it's a great little thing to send people that are interested. I also keep a list of people that are kind of interested. I write them down on a piece of paper on my old order form. That's how organized I am. But when a really good promotion comes out, like $1,000. You know, have you seen them do, you only need $1,000 to get your kit for free. I don't know if you guys have been around long enough. When that comes out, I message all of those people. I keep a list. So I know if they're like, not right now, or I'm kind of interested, but I just don't know. I keep that list and I message all of them the minute that promo comes out. And I normally can recruit, because that $2,000 is kind of scary to them sometimes, but $1,000 they can do. So keep a list as you're going of people. And then when that promo comes back out, that's a great promo to get people in. That's a very good one. Let's see. I don't think there's anything else. I hope that was helpful to you guys. This is the end of Devotion to Promotion. So I am sad to see it go, but we'll have more training. Every month we'll have some kind of meeting. Next month on the 20th at 10 a.m. You guys have that on your calendars? Brian Dale's coming. Norwex Live is coming. And so that's a great way just to get some really good training from corporate. It's a good thing to bring these potential recruits to, because if they sign up at Norwex Live, they get an extra $50 shopping spree. So that's a great way too for all those people that are kind of interested. If they'll come and they join then they get an extra $50 shopping spree. And then they get to get a taste of what corporate Norwex is and their mission and stuff. So that's coming up. So don't forget about that. The last Friday, November, is bingo. So some of you guys were at bingo last year. It's just a big mega party. Me and JC and Katie do all of it. You just have to invite people in and bring some prizes. And we play bingo and give away lots of free Norwex, and you guys sell a lot of Norwex. So it's a great way to have a party or have 3 or 4 parties at the same time, or those people that are like, my house isn't ready, my house is too small, or people that have already had parties before, but they want to buy Christmas presents. They can all come up, we'll have snacks and drinks, and it's just a fun time. So that's the last Friday in November. And I think that's all I'm going to talk about.
When did you say the thing in October is?
October 20th.
Okay.
At 10 a.m. It's in a hotel downtown Oklahoma City. I'm trying to find out the information exactly, but as it gets closer, I'm sure they'll release it. But it's in the middle. It's in downtown OKC on the 20th at 10 a.m. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna stop recording.